welcome to my channel, to Yana's Paranormal World. My name is Yana, and I thought to do this video to introduce myself to all of you and talk a little bit about my life. I am a psychic medium, clairvoyant empath. I was born and raised in Anchorage, Alaska. In the past 15 years, I've been living at the Greek island of Crete, which is my dad's hometown. My mom's from Athens. And to start off, I have been around the paranormal world, as I said in another video, my whole life, and it is not something strange to me. My first activity that I went through when I was a child, I was 6 months old from what my mom said, and it was the house they had recently bought in Alaska. It was haunted by a male spirit, which that male spirit had fallen in love with my mom. And he used to show himself from their bedroom closet. He would show his face to my mom. And they would hear scratching sounds like millions of rats on the walls, pounding on the roof, everywhere. And my father got scared. And one of the cooks at my father's business had a friend who knew how to communicate with spirits. So they invited him over to the house. He casted a circle in the middle of the living room, and he invoked the spirit of the dead man into the area over there where he was doing the work to communicate with him. So the spirit actually told the man that he was in love with my mom and he wants to kill my dad so he can have my mom. So the man advised my father to move out of there because his family was in danger. And because of that spirit threatening my father, my mom was starting to have me as a baby sleep next to them at night for my safety. But the time that happened, the ghost started to bother my dad. My father saw it, and my dad was previously a police officer before he became a chef. So what an ex-police officer does, they get their handgun and they go after the problem. So my father followed the spirit to a cave, and he entered the cave. It was a deep tunnel. And my father was hearing some moaning and screaming sounds that he's never heard before. And the deeper he got, the louder they got. And my father instinct at that moment, something telling him to get out of there because his life will be in danger. So my father left, and they decided to move out of the house for his family's safety. So that's the first haunted house. After that, the other house was even crazy. It was in Dillingham, Alaska, where my father had opened a restaurant that was completely haunted. A person was burnt alive in the attic of the restaurant, to the point you would see the vacuum start on its own and vacuuming up and down. People were scared to go in the basement because there they saw a lot of activity too, not only in the attic. So when I was little, I would see those spirits. I would see them at the house we lived in. They would show themselves to me at midnight. They would not let me sleep. Some of them would show me that they were hanging me by the neck. And whenever I was at the restaurant, I was constantly attacked by them. They were trying to grab me, pushing me into things. So my father had a couple who were Navajo Indian shamans. They came to do a cleansing on the restaurant. After I got attacked in the shower by two dark images. So that's when the couple said to my dad, it's time to do a cleansing. So they came to the restaurant. They did a whole Native American ritual to cleanse it. And they also did a protection ritual on me. That's when I found out at age 9 about my abilities, because I thought I was crazy, the stuff I was seeing and experiencing. I was afraid to talk to my mom and dad about it. So I kept most of it a secret. But the couple telling me about my abilities, and they taught me quite a few things, helped it make it a little better. And as I got older, moving here to Greece, another house in my mom's hometown was extremely haunted. I got thrown down 20 marble stairs by the ghosts that were there. It was two Roman soldiers. They didn't like me at all. So they decided on New Year's Eve, the time I was getting ready to go to the bakery to buy some holiday treats, they decided to push me and throw me down 20 marble stairs. The only thing I remember was flying into the air and hearing my neck crack while I hit the stairs, which my dad saw it from the kitchen window, and he freaked out and he came out crying. That was another time that I almost got killed by a spirit. And it happened again when we moved back to Alaska in Kenai at the second restaurant my father opened, which was very haunted. And the house we were living there was haunted too. The funny thing is, at night over there, I would hate to sleep in my room because you would see spirits gather, excuse me, in my room. To the point whenever my sister would stay over, she hated sleeping in my bed because she would wake up and run into the living room because I was sleeping on the floor in the living room to tell me she saw a man standing over her while she was sleeping. And I would see a chariot with cowboys going through the living room. So it was pretty chaotic there, but the restaurant in Kenai has another story. A man was killed in the parking lot, so he was haunting the restaurant and the bar that was connected to the restaurant. And he loved entering into the men's bodies, like possessing them, so he can do crazy things with women. And the other ghost that was haunting it was a violent male ghost as well. He was the one that was throwing things at our workers to the point that the chef and the helpers over there in the kitchen were afraid to go down in the basement because down there was the freezer and the walk-in refrigerator. So the poor guy would run upstairs into the restaurant and grab me and say, Yana, you got to come downstairs. I have carrots and cabbage and lettuce being thrown at me. And I was cracking up laughing because I thought it was funny. But it wasn't funny because when I went down there, I would see on the floor the lettuce and carrots and everything. So he's like, he's never going down there again. I said, fine, I'll go down there with you whenever it's time to get stuff. So the other activity they were doing there, they were making the silverware and the cups moldy, even though we would set the tables clean with clean things on it. After a while, a customer would complain saying there was mold or dirt on it when there wasn't, and they were moving things around. So one night, even though my mom and me were exhausted from working the restaurant, it was a busy day, my dad accidentally locked the keys in his office. So I offered to go pick the lock. Now this is funny. When I had my head at the door picking the lock, my mom and me hears a woman's voice saying, please help me. And I was exhausted with 2 hours of sleep. So when I heard it loud and clear, I get up, I look at my mom, and I ran so fast up 30 stairs. And I also took my mom's slipper with me and threw it up the stairs without realizing it, of how scared I got. Because look, you can grow up around spirits, you get used to it, and sometimes they catch you unexpected. That's the most fun part is that they get you scared after that. So for that, so it will be good for my family's business. So we won't have problems with the customers with the ghost that was there. We had to call in a woman I know that was a witch from Willow, Alaska, Wasilla. She came to do a cleansing. So I helped her through the cleansing. We got attacked by the malevolent spirits really bad. So the woman's voice that I heard was a woman that was murdered in the restaurant. And she was asking for help. So it went for a while, the cleansing, to get rid of the malevolent spirits that were there and to help the woman cross over, which made the restaurant much more peaceful after that. That was another story. It was pretty crazy. And then when I came back here to Greece, my grandfather's house in his whole town is very haunted. The area where my grandfather's home is, it's called a hellmouth because it was a complete portal over there. Because back in the day, when it was the war between Greeks and Turks, a lot of crime and a lot of slaughter happened over there. So when I went to enter into my grandfather's home, I was violently attacked quite a few times. And I had to cleanse it many times for the home to be peaceful and okay for us to live in. But the thing is, when it's called a hellmouth, because it's a portal there, and constant seeing spirits walking up and down through the walls, seeing tablecloths shaking, and you hear tapping on the windows. Even though I cleansed it, you can still hear that. And whenever you'd go outside, you would see spirits going up and down at 2 a.m. as if they weren't dead, they were living their life in the spirit world. And many times in my father's hometown, they would see at the bridge a tall man that would shapeshift from a black dog into a tall, scary man at the bridge at exactly midnight. And further down, my aunt told me, because back in the day when she was a teenager, her father had tobacco crops. So back in that day, it was safe to walk outside at 12 midnight and 1 or 2 in the morning. It was nothing to be afraid of. So my aunt had to go to their tobacco crops, and it was 1 o'clock at night. And she's never going to forget this even till today. She's old, and she said she remembers hearing a violin playing, and it was next to a well. And when she peeked from behind the trees at the well, she saw demons dancing and playing a violin, which scared the hell out of her. And she ran home at 2 a.m. and said she would never go there again. And further up from my father's house is the town's church, which in the past was the old town cemetery. And you would see, whenever you go there at night, even if you have abilities or not, you will see shadows walking up and down. You would see spirits leaving the gates of the church, going up to the new cemetery further up. And my uncle quite a few times saw a spirit of a dead man jumping, like hopping like a bunny out of the cemetery onto the road and disappear. And I want so much to go and get a lot of pictures and footage of those paranormal spots to share with all of you. And there's many other more places that I've been told of to go to, which I'm not going to reveal now. It's going to be a surprise whenever I get the chance to go to download it for you to see. But here in Greece, there's a lot of crazy paranormal activity. And some spots are up in the mountain that they said they see a naked woman appear in the middle of nowhere. And she would do something crazy. And if you start laughing, she'll disappear. But if you're quiet, she'll talk to you, she'll react with you and all that. So I'm going to try my best to get to all of these crazy paranormal places so I can share it with all of you. And I also will go to a lot of beautiful places here that are not paranormal, just to show you the beauty of the Greek island of Crete. So you will see beaches, you'll see lots of other things coming soon, hopefully. And thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. It's gonna help me out a lot because I've loved the paranormal my whole life and I always wanted to do this. So I finally got the courage to do my own paranormal channel. 1, because I love this very much. And 2, I'm doing it as a job so I can be able financially to take care of my disabled mom so she can have whatever she needs. So this channel is what I love the most to do and to help me out financially because she's got a spinal problem and I've got degenerated discs. So this is going to be a part of my life now, doing what I love, but out in the open on videos for all of you to see. Because all these years I was doing it, quietly, without footage, without anything like that, old school style. But now I'm going to be posting what I do on YouTube. And I hope you like all the footage that I will do. I will try my best. I know I'm using a cell phone camera, which I know the videos are not that good because of it, but hopefully someday soon I will be able financially get a camera so I can take very good videos for all of you to enjoy and see everything I capture, paranormal or not paranormal, just to make it perfect for all of you to enjoy. Bye and have a great day.